Headlines most affecting Abbotsford this week. The constant rumbling of truck traffic caught the ear of many. The trial starts for a man accused of trying to hit 4 people with his vehicle outside of St. Mary's Residential School. The days get longer as daylight saving time returns, and the season for the Langley Trappers grinds to a halt in a hurry. We'll have that in sports. All right, Abbotsford, let's get started. Abbotsford PD was made very aware of the marked increase in dump truck traffic along Whatcom and McKee roads over the past week due to construction and access to Sumas Mountain. Now, during the closure of Ward Road, the trucks were permitted to travel Whatcom and McKee. That didn't set well with a ton of residents. Abbotsford police actually were in the area monitoring truck traffic to ensure compliance with safety procedures until the reopening of that end of Ward Road. Black Press reporting that the trial for a driver who hit 4 people with his vehicle in June of 2022 started this week. The 8-day trial revolving around this driver hitting protesters at the entrance of the St. Mary's Residential School. Richard Albert Manuel was charged in November of 2022 with dangerous operation of a motor vehicle. Trans Mountain Pipeline has been doing some PR work, about 70 kilometers of pipeline construction now complete between Bridal Veil Falls and Abbotsford, as well as the completion of the Sumas Terminal expansion. So this all included about 100 trenchless crossings and 12 special project areas that required modifying techniques to accommodate unique land uses and, of course, environmental protection. The pipeline expansion is supposed to be online by the end of this spring. Property assessments always make homeowners nervous, and that always means tax increases. Recently at Abbotsford Council, BC Assessment made the presentation with some rather interesting numbers. The 2024 assessment shows over 50,000 Abbotsford properties were assessed, which is an increase of 0.8% from last year. Total value, $62.7 billion. That's up 1.5% from 2023. There's also $1.05 billion in new construction. That's a 56% jump over last year. Residential properties were now valued at $45 billion. The Hills are alive with the sound of music, and this March, Gallery 7 will be presenting The Sound of Music, the beloved family favorite, the musical by Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein, with the book from Howard Lindsay, Russell Krauss, and suggested by the Trapp family themselves. Now, featuring a cast of about 30 performers from around the Fraser Valley, it will have a live orchestra. The Sound of Music runs March the 15th to the 24th at the Abbotsford Arts Centre. Finally, the days are getting longer. Daylight saving time kicking in Saturday night or Sunday morning. That all depends on when you reset the clock on the microwave or the coffee machine. Your electronic devices, they reset themselves. And, of course, don't get us started on trying to change the clock in the car. Coming up, both UFE and Trinity Western, very busy. Sports is next. abbyTV Sports, that was a great 7-game series, but it ended too soon for the Langley Trappers. Last week, the Chilliwack Jets won the series 4-3 with a big 3-2 win in Game 7 in front of a packed house in Chilliwack. So next up, the Harold Breton Conference Finals. So that'll be Chilliwack and Maple Ridge. That series started this week. The other conference final is Richmond and Delta. Now, the draw is out. The UFE Cascades women's basketball team will be taking on Carleton in the first game of the U Sports Final 8. That tournament started this week in Edmonton. Columbia Bible College Bearcats basketball team handing out the season-ending hardware with the Pacific Western Athletic Association Team Awards, including Brandon Fields as the Pac West Coach of the Year. Elisa Van Grudy was the Women's Player of the Year. Spencer DeDoza was the Rookie of the Year. And Defensive Player of the Year, Damian Coleman Jr. And the Trinity Western Spartans heading to their 12th straight Canada West Volleyball Final, dominating a 3-0 win over Winnipeg at this past Saturday night at the Langley Event Center. So Trinity Western will face the Alberta Golden Bears in the Canada West Championship match in Edmonton. It is the 4th straight season that the Bears and the Spartans have played in the Canada West Final. Coming up, Cari with the weather. abbyTV weekend weather. So, Cari, it's the time change to daylight saving time. Is it going to be a little damp?
Thanks, Don. Abbotsford weather this week, temperatures are going to get up into the 9s, 8s maybe, and down to about 3 or 4, which is going to be still pretty cold. And yep, you guessed it, there's going to be rain almost all week long. There is hope though, because the following week, it looks like it might be sunny. Tomorrow is International Women's Day, which means that the United Nations has chosen a very special theme: Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress, which tackles economic disempowerment. A lot of big words. How about we just all celebrate the amazing things that women are doing in Abbotsford? Back to you, Don.
Thanks, Cari, and thank you for watching. If you have a local news story you'd like us to report on, you can always send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a great weekend. Remember to change the clocks. I'm Don Lehn.